SHMACKEMAGOB, people, it's time for the news, and I have to start the news with a very sad passing of Mr. Lee Kerslake, who played with Uriah Heep and on the first two and my favorite Ozzy albums, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. I was lucky enough to see Lee Kerslake once when Uriah Heep opened for Judas Priest on the Screaming for Vengeance tour, and they were on the SPREAKER tour. And what's very odd about this is that was at Sunrise Musical Theater. A year or two prior to that, I got to see the Blizzard of Oz with Randy Rhoads at the Sunrise Musical Theater with Def Leppard opening. But that's already when they had Tommy Aldridge and Rudy Sarzo in the band. Now, that Judas Priest show, it was Lee Kerslake and Bob Daisley and Uriah Heep. So, and a weird circumstance of events, I saw the Blizzard of Oz on the same stage, just different shows. But it's very sad what happened to Lee. He had cancer, and one of his dying wishes was to get the platinum albums that he was part of, and I think it was like, I don't know, over a year ago he got it. Ozzy and Sharon sent him the platinum albums, and Ozzy wrote a heartfelt letter to him, and it just made him the happiest guy in the world. And I listened to the Metal Voice that interviewed him. They did a really good, touching tribute to him, saying that, man, the man was in pain and he had only 18 months to live, and he surpassed 18 months. And they were with him. They organized. The guy that was part of Heavy Metal History Hall of Fame organized the platinum album to be given to Lee, and they didn't tell him. They wanted it to be a surprise. And he dealt with Sharon and Ozzy over the phone for a while. It went back and forth, and they did the right thing. They sent him the platinum album, so he got his dying wish. So rest in peace, Lee Kerslake. Great drummer, and your music will always live on, because those two albums from Ozzy, historic. Okay, Rob Halford is about to release a book called Confessions, and he's given little teasers what's in the book, and he talks about where he tried to seduce Iron Maiden's frontman Paul Di'Anno, because they were on tour at the time. I believe it was either British Steel or Point of Entry that Maiden was open for them, and they got really drunk, and Halford's intention was to sleep with Paul Di'Anno, but he got so plastered that he ended up not doing it, and Paul got plastered, and he didn't even know what Rob's plan was. And also, Rob also gave another hint that he had a George Michael moment where he went into a men's room, looking for some sex, and he got arrested. But he was arrested by police officers that were Judas Priest fans, and they didn't release it to the press. So, and this was when Rob was still in Priest, before he left to do Fight and 2 and so on. And it probably would have been a disaster at that time because, at that time homophobia was kind of rampant. Still is, but back then, I don't know if they would have accepted it as well as, when he did it in the 90s when he was promoting his 2 album. And look, my little editorial. I just don't understand homophobia. I mean, seriously, if you're a straight man, you should hail the gay man. I hail the gay men. More women for us. Going backstage at a Judas Priest concert, you got a better chance getting a chick than the lead singer of the band. I think they should build a statue for the gay man. Thank you, gay man. I hail thee, gay men, for giving more choices of women for us straight men. Amen. John Bush said he's open to do a tour with Anthrax with original singer Neil Turbin and the second singer Joey Belladonna. I personally would love to see that. I would love to see Neil Turbin. My favorite Anthrax is that first album, Fistful of Metal. Then Sound of White Noise, and I love Sound of White Noise and Spreading the Disease. All 3 singers made albums great with Anthrax that I love. And I would love to see that. Back in the Volume 8 tour, very late in the Volume 8 tour, I met John already several times. I am happy to say that he knows who I am. And the time I met him on the Volume 8 tour, I gave him this shirt because I know he's a big Bon Scott fan. And soon after the Volume 8 tour, they released the Attack of the Killer A's, where they were planning a tour with Joey Belladonna but didn't fall through. But while the planning stages were going on, he took this picture with Joey Belladonna wearing the shirt I gave him. How cool is that? John Bush rules. And in related John Bush news, the new Armored Saint, I ordered that deluxe package, whatever you want to call it. You know, that brings the shirt, a DVD, a CD, the vinyl, and so on. Because I'm a huge Armored Saint fan. And there's 2 songs I've heard so far rule. And I can't wait. Armored Saint's one of those bands that, in my opinion, has never made a bad album. So, with these 2 songs that I just heard, sounds like they're going to stay on that streak. I hope so, and I think so. But anyway, March of the Saint rules, and I would love to see this tour with John Bush, Neil Turbin, and Joey Belladonna. And John also said in a recent interview that he would like to do a tour like in 2023, something like that, where he performs a bunch of Anthrax songs. You know, he gets another band together and do that. That would be great. I would go see that if it came my way. Or maybe I'll even travel, because I have traveled for Armored Saint before. But I love John Bush. I want to interview him so bad. But anybody out there can help me? Jimmy K from Metal Voice, you listening? Bob Nalbambian. These are guys that I'm friendly with, but I don't know, man. I don't want to pester them, so I'll do it on this video. I'll pester them here. Hook me up with John Bush, man. My dream on my podcast is to interview John Bush, Rob Halford, and Robin Zander. Those would be my 3 dream interviews. So if anybody out there can help me with any of the 3, hook me up, man. AC/DC. Oh, this is a picture that was leaked, but I don't know. It's kind of confusing what they're talking about, how this picture wasn't supposed to be let out. It's a picture of the new video they're recording, filming with Brian Johnson back in the band and Phil Rudd back in the band. So it'll be interesting. I look forward to it. I am a big fan of their last album, Rock or Bust. I really love that album. I'm not too crazy of everything after Flick of the Switch, but you know, I like some of Blow Up Your Video and a couple songs from Fly on the Wall, and Razor's Edge I didn't like at all. Fire Your Gun was pretty good. But I loved the last album a lot, and hopefully this new album will be that like that. So I think it's Rock or Bust is criminally underrated, so I hope it's as good as that. I'll be happy. And hey, look, I'm happy Brian Johnson's back. He's a great guy, but man, did I love him. I love that show with Axl Rose, because they did a lot of deep tracks, and Axl was respectful on stage. They went on time. He gave Angus the floor. It was Angus Young's show. And I thought he did great. I know a lot of people hate Axl, right? I know, hey, man, I respect anybody's opinion. But me, man, when I saw AC/DC with Axl Rose, it was phenomenal. So to say that I'm disappointed that he didn't make the new album with AC/DC, yeah, I can't say I'm not. But at the same time, Brian Johnson paid his dues, so I'm not that heartbroken to know that he's back, because I love Brian Johnson as well. So I look forward to the new AC/DC whenever that drops. Speaking of new albums, the good people at E1 sent me the new Ace Frehley Origins 2 on vinyl and CD, and man, thank you so much. Somebody very cool at E1 sends me all this free stuff from E1, and got this in the mail today. And tomorrow on Kiss Wednesday, I will tell you how I feel about this album. So tune in. Another album that just came out is the new Raven, Metal City. Man, I love me some Raven. I'm not going to be Eddie Trunk here, but I can name drop. I know these dudes, but oh man, I'm Eddie Trunk. I messed up. But anyway, the new album's great, man. These guys are the real deal. They've been around forever, and they live it. Man, if you've never seen Raven live, do yourself a favor. What a phenomenal live band. Tight, the Gallagher brothers rule. And I highly recommend the new Raven Metal City. Alright, the final news item, the Hard Rock Casino down here in Hollywood, Florida, with that killer guitar hotel they have there. I recently sent them an email saying that, look, I got an idea for you guys, and I'm not going to charge you anything, but I would really appreciate if you would decorate the bathroom doors like this, because I want you to be the Hard Rock Casino, not the Pussy Casino. That's it for the news. So thank you everybody for watching, and wings, not rings. SHMACKEMAGOB. For those that use social media, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you can join the Almost Human 56 Facebook page. All links are in the description below. A lot of you been asking for it. SHMACKEMAGOB merch. Yes, many types of shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves, hoodies, you name it. Plus other stuff like shower curtains and bedspreads and mugs and socks and clocks, and oh, I can go on. But why should I? The link is below. Just click the link below in the description for all the SHMACKEMAGOB merch. Order yours now. SHMACKEMAGOB. Hey, check out my podcast, The VIERA Vault, on Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. Subscribe. The links are below.
Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Norgal, and sometimes this guy.
SHMACKEMAGOB!
Ralph VIERA is also on our network with the VIERA Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido. Ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast. And the Great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbeam, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.